What is going on, guys? Crucible here, and today we're going to be doing the breakdown for set 7 green archetype. This time it's going to be Orange Piccolo instead of regular Piccolo. We've all tried, I think, to hope and cope that green Piccolo was going to be better with all the support that he's gotten over the sets, and while he has gotten quite a bit better, he's still not at the tier that I think a lot of us really wanted to. So hopefully with this guy and all of his support, hopefully this guy will carry on OG Piccolo's name and bring him to the spotlight, so to say. So let's kind of just jump into it. By the way, once again, I will thank everybody who helped get us to 500 subscribers on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated, and all the support is very much appreciated. You guys are all amazing. Memberships and all that stuff, the perks for memberships and stuff are still in the works, so if you wanted to support the channel further, you'll have to wait a little bit for that, but regardless, you just being here, commenting, and hanging out with us on the live streams and stuff, do greatly appreciate all of that. So thank you guys again for helping us get to that milestone. Let's hit for 1,000 by next year, right? Alright, so let's talk about Piccolo. So Piccolo is a standard leader on the front side, nothing too crazy here. He then awakens to Orange Piccolo, where he draws one when he attacks. Then he has an auto skill when an opponent's card attacks, you may choose one battle card with a cost of 3 or more and superhero in its card name in your battle area. If you do, you switch the attack target to the chosen card, then the skill can't be activated for the turn. So basically, he's acting as a pseudo blocker to an extent. Even if he's not necessarily attacking the face and he's attacking stuff in your opponent's attacking stuff on the board, this leader ability will allow you to redirect an attack onto something else and potentially get some additional effects for when that card gets KO'd or whatever. This also works on cards that are in active mode. So you can have something in active mode and switch it to that target, and you would still have to defend it because that's how it works with like the 3-cost Bardock in black. When you combo a card and he restands, you still have to defend the card regardless if it's in active or rest mode. So it works that way, but this is cool. This will make him a little bit more of a defensive leader. Should keep him around a little bit longer. Maybe there's a rough swing like the Cell leader, right? So like the red Cell leader swings at you for 40k. You can redirect that move to something on your board and potentially use less combo power to defend itself, right? So I think that's really, really cool. This deck is going to be heavily reliant, though, on what kind of support it gets and what kind of additional effects that we can get from the cards that we redirect it to. So let's take a look at some of the support. So we got this Krillin from Superhero. 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo. On play, if your leader has Superhero in its card name and you have 6 or more energy, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 5 or less and you're in your opponent's battle area, and it cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Basically, this is the Superhero equivalent to Dende, the Namek Goku and Dende. It's para with a bit of a heavier restriction on 5 or less. I understand why they put the 6 or more energy in these cards, just because green is able to ramp more effectively than other decks are able to. So come turn 5, you're probably going to be at 7 or 8 energy anyway. So that's why they have these types of restrictions. I see a lot of people talking about this restriction and saying that these cards are mid because of it, but there's a reason why those restrictions are in place. We saw how good the Android 17 deck ended up being with all the generic support that it was getting. Like, these restrictions are necessary. Whether you like it or not, they're necessary. But no, I mean, this is fine. This is not a bad card. You're paying it for 1 energy. Later in the game, it's going to be a bit more useful depending on what you're playing against. And this card may not be necessarily great in a mirror, but it'll at least be good against all the other colors in the deck, which I think is good. Then we have an Android 18 Superhero. 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo. On play, if your leader has Superhero in its card name and you have 6 or more energy, add up to 1 green non-Android 18 Superhero card with a cost of 3 or less and Superhero in its card name from your drop to your hand. Basically, this is the crap. There's a bunch of cards like this in red. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, you're getting a 3 cost back from hand, so that's still really, really good. That's really good. So this can help you find some earlier pieces that you might need later down the line. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the rest of the support kind of looks like to see like what good targets are here for this. But I mean, having recursion like this in green is pretty solid. Then we got a 3-cost, 20k power, 10k combo Piccolo Superhero, where when KO, draw 1 card. This card is a prime target for the leader ability. Being able to redirect an attack into this guy and then letting this guy get KO'd allows you to basically draw a card and keep your hand size up. Very basic effect, but it works really well for what the Piccolo leader is trying to do. And this is also a target for the Android 18, so while I don't necessarily think that this is going to be something that you're going to want to keep replaying just because of how low of a threshold its power base is, the combo power is still really strong on this, and if you're able to play this out later in the game and give yourself more options for targets, this is actually pretty solid. So, not bad whatsoever. Then we have Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 from Superhero, 5 costs, 30k power, 10k combo. On play, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. Then your leader with Superhero and its card name gets 5,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, this is really cool. So, because the Piccolo is a ramp deck, and it's the return of ramp decks in green, because of how this works, let's say you Destructive Strength on turn 3, you go up to 4 energy. Playing this guy off 5 energy allows you to remove something on curve from your opponent, which is really, really cool. So, yeah, it's a 3 cost or less, but you're playing it on curve, and it keeps your opponent kind of in check. And he's also making Piccolo a 25k defensive leader, and that +5, and attacker, by the way. So he becomes 25k power on attack, and then he can defend for 25,000 as well. And that lasts until your opponent's next turn, so it makes it a little bit harder to swing into your opponent. Zamasu got cards like this, and while Zamasu is not as good now, because obviously Pilaf was a big crux of what that Zamasu deck was kind of wanting to do, that 4-cost Fuse Zamasu card that got played was a really, really good card for him. Making him a 30k leader defensively was really strong. So these types of effects have always been really good in this game, and they've always made things just a little bit harder for your opponent to actually go for game. So that's really good. This is a really good card, and it's a great stat line too. 10k combo, 30k power swing. That's removing something and buffing your leader. Yeah, no, we'll take more of that. Then we got a Son Gohan Superhero, 3 costs, 25k power, 5k combo with blocker. And a permanent skill where on your opponent's turn, if your leader has Superhero in its card name and you have 6 or more energy, this card in a battle area gets 10,000 power. So in the later game, this guy becomes a 35k defensive leader. So once again, another really good target for the Piccolo leader. Basically, you can defend a swing by making this guy a blocker. He's going to be 35k on defense in the later game. So more than likely, your opponent's not going to be able to get rid of this. And even if he does combo up, you can still combo a card to protect this. Then if he swings at lead again, then you can utilize the leader ability to make this guy the target again, and it's another 35k that they're gonna have to combo up to kind of get over, more than likely. So this is a really good card. This card allows you that you can pick this up with the Android 18, and yeah, just really, really solid card all around. I have no complaints. So far the package overall looks really good. And then as far as direct superhero direct superhero support, the last card that we have to talk about is this Dende Superhero, where 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo. On play, if you have a 6 or more energy, choose up to 1 Piccolo Superhero in your leader area or battle area, and it gets 10,000 power for the turn. Basically making this a Margarita in the Piccolo Superhero green deck. Really, really good card. These kinds of cards have always been really good as well in the game. Margarita is still a staple in most red decks because of the power that it's able to bring. It's an extra 10k on top of another 10k combo. If you combo it off, it's 20k power additional on a swing. That's really strong. And obviously the restriction is fine because, again, it's a ramping deck and they're able to get up to that type of energy relatively fast. They don't need to be... they don't need a power buffer early in the game. This is meant to kind of slow down the basically slow down the Piccolo deck to an extent so that it's not overbearing. Because let's be honest, if you weren't able to ramp in Piccolo and you were able to awaken and play stuff like this and get 30 to 40k swings off leader, like that would be a little crazy. It's different for other colors, but because you know, it's a ramp deck and you want to get to 6 energy at least, having this restriction balances it out just a little bit, since you're able to play more powerful stuff the more energy you have. So that makes more sense in this than it does in others. So I'm fine with this. This is a really strong card. Everything for the superhero deck so far is pretty good. Now for something that I wasn't necessarily expecting from the reveals. We got a brand new Broly for the OG Broly starter deck. 7 cost, 40k power, 5k combo Broly. Permanent skill on your turn. If your leader is Broly and you have Paragus in your battle area, you reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 4. So this is a 3 cost 40k body swinger if conditions are met. And what's great is that the inclusion of this card now makes the other Paragus decks more viable. You can run both of the Shimoian Paraguses. You can run the one that gets a 7 or 8 cost Broly back into your hand. You can now run those cards and actually have value because you have a card like this that makes it worthwhile to play. And then you got an on-play effect too, where you choose each Paragus in the battle area and then KO them. Then add the top 2 cards of your deck to your energy in rest mode. So the way that this is worded is you want to be a little sparing with the Paraguses that you want to play, because playing out like 3 Paraguses on board, when you play this, you have to choose all of your Paraguses basically, because you have to choose each one in the battle areas and KO them. And what's interesting about this too is that this is meant to work in the leader as well. So if your opponent is running this, running the mirror, if you're playing against the mirror and they have Paraguses on board, you have to KO their Paraguses as well. So it helps with the board clear on your opponent's board, but it does work against you to an extent as well. So that's something you got to keep in mind. Don't go with this card. You don't want to be overextending your Paragus plays. You just want to make sure you have one on board when you play this card. But then ramping 2 cards from your deck to your energy basically makes it so that way your next turn, like if you're at 7 energy when you play this, actually you don't like this. Actually, you can actually now afford. It's weird because now you can afford to play a slower game with the OG Broly. You don't have to rely on destructive strength. You don't have to rely on the ramp Turles. You don't have to rely on any of the other ramping cards that kind of exist in this game. You can play a slower game with this and have it work in your favor, because Paragus turn 2, play out a Shimoian, for example. Depending on your deck, they're probably not going to be able to remove the Paragus, especially if you're not swinging with it. So then on turn 3, you can play this out the following turn, and then play this guy to go up to 5 energy for next turn. 6 energy because you would be charging on the following turn anyway. So like this is a really good card for OG Broly. I like this card. It's might actually make OG Broly actually playable again, which is really cool. So we'll have to see if there's any other support for the OG Broly deck in this set, but this is a really good start to kind of bring that deck back. And then finally, we got the Broly BR, another 4-cost Broly BR, 25k power, no combo. Permanent on your turn. If your leader is Broly BR, you add 3 to the cost of this card in a battle. So you're already meeting your Broly BR leader conditions with this card. But then he's got a when attacking once per turn. If you don't have another Broly BR in your battle area, you can switch this card in a battle area to active mode. So basically, he is a 7-cost, 25k dual attacker, which can be really good for some offensive aggression. Right now, for Broly, like, playing the one that cheats out a 1-cost, like, people are they're kind of mellowing away from that card. A lot of people are running a couple of that, but not a whole lot. The promo Broly is a bit situational for if you get ramped up to 5, or if you accidentally ramp up to 5. Like, the other 2 Paragus, or the other 2 Broly cards are a little situational in terms of when you play them. So everyone's been kind of focusing on the 30k that KOs 1-drops. So having another option like this is actually really, really good. Now, you don't have combo power, which is a little unfortunate, but it makes sense that if the 30k swinger is doing what it's doing and this is doing what it's doing, then like having combo power would make these cards a little obscene. So this is a good card for Broly BR. He's kind of fallen off with the manga booster stuff, and yellow kind of being a being around and constantly resting board and stuff like that. Like it's definitely like slowed its roll, but with this, I think it'll stay relevant again. So it's good that they're not killing a lot of these older decks, and we're getting a lot of support for that. So I think that's pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think about the Orange Piccolo deck. Are you guys excited for it? Are you guys looking forward to playing this? I'm actually pretty pumped. I'm slowly but surely becoming more and more of a green player as the game's been kind of going on. Excuse me. Green is one of those colors that I didn't want to play at all in the beginning of the game, and since they've been adding all of these really cool and interesting and like fun decks to green, like I've become more and more of a green player. So I'm excited for Orange Piccolo. Orange Piccolo will be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see this transformation in the client. This transformation in the client is going to be really cool. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more Fusion World content, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.